Boys ain't done the time, we opposite. I've been trying not to break down.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. This is Awkward Situations. That song that played at the start was Breakdown by my friend Cyrus featuring my friend Packy. I've linked the song in full in the description if you want to check it out on the Spectators Collective page. My friend Cyrus said that he's going to release a new single every week in 2017. It's a lofty goal, but I like his logic. He thinks that he's more likely to get on a Spotify playlist and get discovered that way rather than releasing a lot of music at once and hoping that the project takes off as a whole or one single gets put on a playlist. But if you release the same week as Kanye, you're not going to get as much shine as if you release during a week when there's not a lot of mainstream popular music. So I really like that idea, and I hope he succeeds, and Packy has some new music to release. So I'm happy for my creative friends. I love having creative friends. And speaking of creative people, I'm a creative person, I guess, kind of. I released a awkward transition for Awkward Situations. I released a video today called I just named it 1000. It's my 1000th video that I've uploaded on my YouTube channel that I've made public, actually. I've uploaded more than 1,000 videos, but it's the 1000th video I've made public. You're watching the 1001th video right now. But I linked that in the description. If you have not seen it already, I just kind of got nostalgic and looked at my old YouTube pages via the Wayback Machine and what my channel used to look like in 2011 and 2012 and 2013. And I watched some of my old videos. So if you want to check that out and you haven't seen it already, click the link in the description below. Finally, I was supposed to have a guest on this episode, but he or she could not make it, so I will save that person for the next episode. Hopefully, I apologize. You just get me this episode. I'm sorry. And thanks for sharing all those embarrassing moments last week. If you want to share any embarrassing moments this week or any awkward situations, I consider embarrassing moments to be awkward situations. This series kind of turns into too much of an advice series, in my opinion. I don't want to give advice too much because I feel like that it's kind of a complicated reasoning, but I'll just try to say it in short that my wife has a degree in psychology and she works in a mental health profession. She does that professionally, and I feel like me giving advice as someone who is a college dropout who plays video games for a living is I don't know, it like is kind of demeaning to people who actually get degrees for this job. And that doesn't mean I can't give advice or just give my opinion on things. The point of the series overall is to be entertaining. So if it's not entertaining, then that's number one. But I like to give some advice from time to time because people ask about it. I'm older than a lot of the people that watch my videos, and I have a little bit of life experience, so I can do that. But the embarrassing moments are honestly more fun to talk about, and they jog my memory more. So leave awkward situations, embarrassing moments, whatever you want in the description. Let's start with today's awkward situations, starting with this first one right now. Dear Joel, I'm a freshman at Purdue University, and I was talking to a girl there during my first semester. I was talking with a friend, and he awkwardly brought up an awkward conversation. A lot of awkwardness so far. He told me that some people in his frat had a threesome with a girl that last night. They shared pics, and it was the girl I was talking to. I didn't talk to her for about a week, and now she's asking why I'm not talking to her. Should I confront her about it or just say I've had a change of feeling? Some help with this would be appreciated. Thanks, and keep up the good work, Joel. So yeah, that's an awkward situation. Go Boilermakers, by the way. Actually, don't go Boilermakers because they beat my Michigan State Spartans last week, and it made me very upset. I would not confront her. At least I wouldn't use that word for having a conversation with her and telling her you don't have feelings for her anymore if you truly don't have feelings for her anymore, because confront makes it sound like you're going to be accusatory and it's going to be some law justice situation where you're a lawyer screaming at her to tell the truth and all this stuff. I don't know. I mean, she didn't commit a crime. She just got it in long dick style with the guys of Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Phi, Delta, Pi, XX. I don't know Greek letters, but shouts out to those dudes for being in a fraternity. Have you guys ever been to a frat party, by the way? It's very scary. There's a lot of people shoulder to shoulder. And I would say it's interesting to people watch, but I get claustrophobic. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of fraternities myself. I think it's cool when there's fraternities that do good things for the community, and I know people that are in sororities that did great things for the community. But then you hear the things about, like, dudes get to shove pickles up their ass to prove if they're the best frat bro out there, and then they get moving up the ranks and all that. I don't know. It's an interesting culture, the Greek culture. I'd like to study it more, like their animals on a nature documentary. I don't know a ton about it. I've just been to a few frat parties in my day, and they're very interesting times. College is interesting. And if you're in a fraternity, it increases your chances of having a threesome because you're at the location where the crazy parties happen. Anyways, that was a tangent. Like I said, if you truly don't have feelings for the girl anymore because of this act, then I would just tell her that, you know what, I'm not super interested anymore. I'm sorry. I want to focus on school. Make up some bullshit excuse. You could probably articulate it better than I could because you know her and you know what you talk about, and that's something you can figure out. But I'll just make the case for this not being a knock on a girl. As you could see on that situation, that had 151 thumbs up. And it also had a lot of replies, which makes sense if it has that many thumbs up. And the overwhelming amount of replies said something to the degree of this woman is a slut and to avoid her. And I think that is a terrible mindset to have, because what you already know about this girl, even if she doesn't know you know, is that she is very open sexually. And I don't want to demean her. And I think slut shaming, by the way, I don't want to label myself, but slut shaming in general is stupid. That whole culture is stupid. I think anyone can do what they want with their bodies as long as it doesn't hurt themselves or others. I mean, I guess if you want to hurt yourself, you can do it. I'll slap myself right now. Damn it. I don't know why I did that. I guess that proves a point. But yeah, if you're not hurting others, you can do whatever you want with your body. And if you want to have sex with 5 guys and have every hole filled up, including both of your ears, that's fine. Now, I don't know what the nature of the threesome was. That's even cooler if it was a 2-girl threesome. If it was 2 guys, I'd maybe be a little more hesitant. But if it was 2 girls, then, man, that opens up a world of possibilities for you, my friend. And college is the time to have experiences. Some of those experiences can be very negative. Maybe I don't think having a threesome defines what you'll be like in a relationship, but some would disagree. Maybe she's more likely to cheat if she's had a threesome before and she's like, I'd rather have 2 dicks, or I'd rather have a vagina with this dick, but maybe she wants a vagina with your dick, and that's really awesome for you because that's a cool thing. You're not thinking this through. However, once again, if the feeling of intimacy is gone from your body with this woman because you saw this act, and I can't say how I would respond if I was confronted with the same situation, so I can't give you any advice on that. That's a totally emotional thing. If you don't feel any feelings for her, just let her go. Plenty of fish in the sea. Plenty of girls that go to frat parties and enjoy the same things that she does. So, well, maybe you're not looking for that, actually, if you lost the feelings for her. Whatever. I hope this works out for you, and I want you to think about it. And all you guys out there, be open-minded. I mean, if 2 guys approached me and said they wanted to have a threesome with me, one in the front and one in my bum, I would take that as the highest compliment. And I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So let's move on to the next awkward situation right now. Hey, Joel, today I was at my friend's house and put my brand new shoes that I got for Christmas in the closet because he got a new dog that eats shoes. So that's where I was directed to put them. When I was leaving today, I noticed that my shoes were ripped, just one shoe, but I'm sure I closed the closet. My friend's little brother had some friends over, and I'm pretty sure they left it open, or it could have been my friend's brother. Anyway, they are 130 and not terribly ripped, but the inside is pretty destroyed. I'm not sure what to say or do. Do I tell him or his parents? I've known them since I was a kid, so I don't know what I should do because I don't want to mess up the friendship. You see, that's tough, because if I had a child who had a friend that came up to me and said, "Sir, your dog ruined my shoes and you owe me $130. I would lift that motherfucker up by his shirt and pin him against the wall and say, "Listen, bitch, I'm stronger. I'm not giving you money. He's trying to blackmail me." I would be a little concerned, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just a good guy. I actually give money away all the time. I feel like I'm a decent tipper, and I would probably feel bad, and I would get hustled by a 16-year-old. You didn't say how old you are. Maybe you did. I just don't read and don't pay any attention. But it's a very awkward situation. I would probably ask your parents for advice more than me because they know the family intimately. Maybe the family isn't well off financially, and that, I mean, you're probably not extremely well off financially. Well, let me just insult you. You're not well off financially, and you probably have a small dick, and you probably have a bad hairline, and I'm saying all the things I feel about myself because I'm projecting, and that's really not great. Yeah, so I would if they have money, I would feel less bad about it. You are probably younger, and $130 is a lot to spend on shoes. I don't spend $130 on shoes a lot. If I can't get shoes for retail, I usually do not get them. I missed out on the Air Jordan 4 royalties today, but I'm trying to get some nice boots, some nice Red Wing boots. You guys don't care about my shoes. I actually have Red Wing boots, but I'm trying to get more because they're really nice. Anyways, I would ask your parents, and I would go to, you know what you really could do? I just thought of this. It just came into my brain. You could walk over to their house with no shoes on and get your feet all bloodied up and bruised, and I would like kick the curb a couple of times too. I mean, don't break your feet. Well, at least don't like break a couple of bones maybe. It doesn't have to be a super expensive medical bill. And then walk inside. I mean, hobble inside. Maybe you have to crawl inside if you beat your feet up enough. And your friend's parents, if they have any sympathy, they'll be like, "Oh my God, little Jimmy, what happened? What's wrong with where'd your shoes go?" And you could just look at them, let a single tear flow down your face, if you can manage to do that, and say, "I don't have any shoes anymore thanks to your fucking dog," and pass out. I don't know how you're going to pass out. I mean, you might have to hold your breath and black out. That's a little extreme. I just wasted everyone's time by saying that. I would definitely talk to your parents and maybe bring it up to your friend if you feel comfortable. Like, "Hey, let's do this thing where we compare the inside of our shoes. Oh, cool. Your shoes look nice. Hey, look at the inside of my fucking shoes. They're ruined thanks to your damn dog." It's awkward, but I feel like you can solve it. It's one of those things where you have to ask awkward questions in life, and it's part of growing up. And once you ask one awkward question, the next time you have to ask, like I've had to ask people for money before, and I hate doing that because I feel, I'm not trying to brag, but I genuinely don't have a great thirst for money. And some people do, and they're great business leaders, and they become president and stuff like that. But I don't, and so I have a hard time caring, but I also need to care because I need to pay my bills. And the people who want my bills to be paid really care about money. So I need to care about money as well. And I've gotten into situations where I've had to ask people for money. I'm like, "Hey, you said you were going to give me this money last month, and it's this month," and then they just get all pissy, and I'm like, "Well, what the fuck? You said you were going to give me the money. What's the deal?" You have to have those conversations many, many times in your life. So get used to them when you're young, and you'll be better at them when you're older. Let's do one more awkward situation. This is probably going to be a shorter episode than normal, but we'll save the good situations for when I got a guest on next week. Oh, and by the way, I don't mean these situations are bad. They're actually really great. I just wanted to maybe have a longer episode with a guest. So just to clarify that. Anyways, all right, so Joel, I've an extremely awkward situation. My cousin broke into my house and stole over $500. We were really close, but now I feel betrayed and also hate him. He's in jail now, but he's not going to be there forever. And when he does get out, I assume this person meant to say, "I need to know what I should do. I have an idea, but I need an outside look of the situation. So Joel, or whoever reads all of this, please help me. Thanks." So I replied to this comment and said I was going to talk about it eventually in a video. I might as well talk about it now, even though I have some older situations I want to get to in the future, because it's kind of serious, and I like to end these episodes with something a little more serious or a little less relevant to awkward situations or whatever. So I have this in my family as well, but I'm not as close to the person who is in jail. I'm not even blood related to him, and it is kind of strange to think about because you see them at family gatherings, and then it's like, "Oh, I'm in prison for 40 years." So it's, I mean, the person in my family is up for parole in the 2020s, so I don't have to think about it for a while, but I definitely don't want, I'm going to have children, or well, I hope I will, I guess fingers crossed. I want to have children, and I would like for them never to meet this person, ideally, is how I feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it. You said you're going to have to confront it. And I would try to confront it the best way that you can. That's shit advice, but you kind of got to take the situation as it's presented to you. If this person seems like they've turned their life around and you feel like they've reformed their behavior, then that's somebody that you can have in your life, and you can support that person, and you can support them in general. You can support them from afar by, and you don't have to be a dick to them, but you don't have to have them in your life. It sounds like you're a lot closer to this person than I am to the person that I know in my family who's in prison, so it's a little less of a concern for me. I just consider that person, they weren't really a part of my life before, and they're definitely not a part of my life now. But you sound like this is a relationship that meant a lot to you and betrayed your trust by this act. It's a lot more complicated than my situation. I could relate to it, and I haven't seen a comment like this before, so I wanted to address it. I would just play it by ear. One of those things my mom likes to say, let's play it by ear. If this person, your cousin, seems reformed when he comes out of prison and seems like he has atoned for his crimes and it's a one-time mistake that won't happen again, you can gradually let that person back into your life, or maybe not. Maybe you just want to let that person be on their way and you move on. This happens in life, and you have periods where you think about it for a while and you get concerned about it, but life is a finite set of years. It's kind of long, but it's really not long. I can't believe I'm already 26. I'm a quarter way through my life if I'm extremely lucky. I'm maybe like a third of the way through my life considering how much fast food I eat. I hope not 50%, but probably like at least a third of the way through my life. And it flies by. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that. You guys are experiencing life at a fast pace as well. I just don't want to spend my life with people who are going to betray my trust, or I have to worry about their actions. I don't want to babysit people unless they're my actual children. And of course, I would love and raise my children. And that's actually one of my biggest concerns about having children is if one of them has a social disorder that is just really difficult to manage. I mean, I know the chances of this are extremely rare, but what if my child is Norman Bates? Just they have a great life. I raise them well, and my wife and I treat the kids great, and one of them is just the butcher. They just get those knives and they kill small animals. That's kind of a sick thing to worry about. My brain works in very mysterious ways, but it's such a crapshoot. It's a roll of the dice, and I understand why some people don't want to have kids because it is a roll of the dice. But to me, it would bring so much enrichment to my life, in my opinion. But some people just, they are not going to change. So hopefully your cousin is in that group of people that will change. The American prison system is not great for helping people reform, in my opinion, from some of the many prison documentaries I've watched. But hopefully your cousin can change, and you'll have to monitor that. I'd be interested to know what you have a plan for, you said, because you said you have already thought about this. You probably thought about it a lot because it's a really dramatic event in your family's history. So I hope you can figure that out, and I hope all of you out there know that it is okay to let people go in your life if they are not worth your time. You don't want to spend your life worrying about other people unless they're giving, I worry about my wife a lot, but she gives me so many great things in my life that, she deserves that worry. Like, I will worry about her as much as I can because, I don't know if I wouldn't be doing this if she wasn't in my life, and I wouldn't have a lot of great things. So if it has to be a balance. If you're not getting the things back you need in any relationship, not necessarily boyfriend, girlfriend, but or with anyone in your family, if it's just a constant take, and not a give and take from the both of you, why would you want that in your life? It's nonsensical from an outsider's perspective, and that's what you said you wanted, an outsider's perspective. So I hope you can take that in, take it for what it's worth, and I hope you get that figured out. This is going to be the end of Awkward Situations. We'll be back again next week. I will be on vacation when the awkward situation is in the rotation in the United Nations. I almost did it. I can almost still rap. I want to make music, but I don't. I feel like I'm not good at it. There's so many good people making music nowadays. I'm not, but I could do it. I shouldn't be self-esteem, little bitch boy. Yeah. So that was a tangent. This is Awkward Situations. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Fuck around and get money.